to my channel. If you're new here, if you're not new here, welcome back. My name is Amari, and yes, it is pronounced ah-mah-dee, not Amari. But in today's video, I basically just want to give you guys a guide to college. And I'm assuming if you're watching this, it's because you're going to college. This is more so for freshmen. If you are a freshman, I hope this helps you out a lot. And if you're not, well, I hope this still helps you out. But basically, I just want to talk to you guys about a few different things. I know the idea of moving to college and moving away from home can be stressful, scary, intimidating, and also fun, amazing, exciting. And with all those emotions comes a lot of things besides that. And what I mean by that is it comes with a lot of stress. It comes with a lot of excitement, but it comes with a lot of stress because you're constantly thinking, okay, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? Like, what do I need for my dorm? What do I need for this? What do I need for that? And oftentimes I feel like, especially from watching other people's hauls and move-ins, we tend to overdo it. And by we, I mean females, because the men, they don't do that. They don't, for the most part, I have never seen any man come into college overpacked. However, us, women, we do it every single time, without fail. So, this section is going to be your move-in section, and what I advise you to do is, as opposed to overpack, just pack literally the bare essentials, like the things you know 100% for sure you use on a daily or a very often basis. Bring your favorite shirts, bring your favorite jeans, bring your favorite clothing items, bring your favorite pajamas, bring your favorite things, the things that you know that you use every day, if not every day, every other day, if not every other day, every week, something of that sort. Bring the things that you know you're going to utilize. Do not bring things because someone said, oh, this might be helpful, like this was helpful for me, it could be helpful for you. I would say with those things, if someone suggests that you bring something to college, spend a little time processing that. Think of what you would do with it, how you would use it, how it would be helpful to you. Like, don't just buy it because someone recommended it and you're like, oh, I need that. Because, you know, you're stressed and you're thinking, what do I need? What do I need? Well, this person recommended that, so I'm just gonna buy it. And then you never end up using it. There's so many things that I took with me to college my freshman year I literally never even used. I may have opened it, but I never used it. For example, a flashlight kit. I never used a flashlight. Ever. Not once. Why did I bring it with me? I honestly have no clue. I had a sewing kit, like in case my clothes just kind of, I don't know, something happened to it and I had to fix it. I don't sew, I don't hand sew often or anything like that. I literally did not use it. It was never opened. Ever. When I tell you guys, there's things that you're not going to use, there's things you're not going to use, and I would recommend that those things you're not going to use, don't bring them. Do not bring something that you're hesitant and you're like, I might use it, I'm not sure. I would suggest waiting till the moment that you know you would need it or it would come in handy at school. And one way to do this is if you're moving to school and you're driving, or if you are flying and you have a spare suitcase that you can send back with your family. If you see something and it doesn't fit, or you start thinking about it and you're like, I don't know when I'm going to use that, I don't think that's going to be helpful here, send it back. Do not have it cluttering your space if you're not going to utilize it. Because I had so many things in my space, especially in my desk, that I literally didn't use. Also, colleges give you a lot of free shit. They give you a lot of free shirts, they give you a lot of free magnets, free little random knickknacks. And while it's fun to collect free things from your school, it adds up. You're gonna have an entire drawer of things that you don't even use, you don't touch, because they're free things that the school gave you and you're like, well, fun to have. you won't use it. Like, very rarely will you use something that they have given you for free. I promise you. Unless your school is giving out really good items that are really, really helpful and useful, you're not going to use it. I've gotten, dear Lord, I've gotten so many things. I have gotten pins, I have gotten magnets, I have gotten bottle openers, I've gotten condoms, I've gotten t-shirts, I've gotten like a little calendar, like so many things, and for the most part I didn't use any of them because I didn't need to. So do not waste your space like that. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Also, with move-in, I would say if you know that you have something that you're going to be utilizing and you're going to need with you in school and you're trying to figure out how to pack things, try to take things out of boxes because boxes create more space, and definitely try to see what you can, like if you're going to use a tote, fit as many things in there as you can, build it like a puzzle piece. I forget what that game is, like Tetris. Literally just fit things where you can and maximize the most of the space that you have. You're gonna need it if you're carrying a bunch of stuff to the car and you're realizing, oh my god, this isn't gonna fit. And if you can't make multiple trips because you live very far or you can't have multiple cars, I very much guarantee trying to squeeze things where you can and, you know, getting rid of boxes of items that you know for sure that you're going to use. Unless you think it's something you're going to be possibly returning, I probably wouldn't bring it at all. But yeah, that is my number one tip for that. And moving in, next I want to get into just college in general. I remember the first few days I was running around campus because we had tours, we had convocation, we had like just meetings or like a big like gathering of people in the same major as us and like so many different things. And while it's all big and fun and all that, I'm not quite sure how that's gonna go this year. I don't really think it's gonna happen. You know, it takes a lot of time away from other things that are helpful, like walking around your campus, getting familiar with the buildings that you need to go to class. Because I remember I spent so much time walking around, but people were literally walking me places. Like RRA walked us to convocation, like a course leader walked us to our building, our designated building for our major, you know, to talk to the people in our major. Like, people walked us everywhere to the point where I had no idea where we were going. Like, to me, I was just walking in a big ass maze and I was like, I don't know where anything is. So one of the days before school, I made sure to take the time, whatever time I had free, to walk around the campus, to walk to specific buildings, and to get myself familiarized. I wrote down what buildings I had classes in, and I walked around campus, and I made sure to look at the names of the buildings, and I was like, okay, I have class in there, I have class in there, I have class in there. And if you can, I would suggest going inside the building to see where your class is, because it takes a lot of time on your first day to walk around inside a building, especially if it's a huge building and you're like, where the fuck is this class? It's a lot. So I definitely recommend touring your campus before you even start classes so that you can get familiar with it, or if anything, find the buildings that your classes are held in and possibly the classrooms that your classes are held in. Very helpful tip. Another helpful thing is, if you have super expensive textbooks, try looking it up on Amazon, check, or any website where you can rent it, or see if your bookstore allows you to rent books. Because for my bookstore, I know personally, some of the books that I needed for my classes, I could rent from the bookstore and they were pretty cheap. So I would rent them as opposed to buying them. I also know my bookstore particularly has buyback, which means that once you're done with the semester and you're done with the class and the textbooks you need for that, you can sell it back to the bookstore. Okay, sorry, my SD card ran out of storage, so I had to pop in a new one. As I was saying, my bookstore on my campus in my school has buyback, which means if you buy a book for a specific class and, you know, once the semester is over, you're done with the book, you can sell it back to the bookstore. The only thing with that is that they're gonna buy it they're gonna buy it cheaper than what you bought it for, because obviously you bought a new book and they're buying a used book because it's been used by you. So I know a lot of people also like to sell their books to people, to other people. They just like put it on their socials and try to find people on campus who need that, you know, book, who are taking the class that they had just finished taking, and people will buy the book from you. Have I done it? I can't remember if I've done that or not. I think I did. I genuinely can't remember. But I know for sure that I have sold my books back to the bookstore, and I have also rented my books from my bookstore. But I usually don't have very many books to use or borrow because I don't really take many classes, you know, that are like that because of my major. I usually just, our professors give us like all these links to, you know, the material that they want us to read, or the videos, or the movies. They just give us like links for that stuff so that we can watch it or read it. So that is one thing. Another thing that I really want to talk to you guys about is adding drop-in classes and registering for them. I know this gets really confusing, especially if you're doing it for the first time, because I know personally when I forget what it's called, but it's the day that you go to campus, and it's kind of like a fun day. Like, they let you tour the campus and then you meet with your advisor, you pick out classes. What the hell is that day called? I literally, it's at the tip of my tongue. Like, I know it and I can't think of it right now to say it.
Hi, I know you can barely see me, it's dark, obviously I'm editing, but the day that I was thinking of is called registration. I don't know how that just, like, came and went, but what I'm thinking of is registration. The day that you go to campus and you register for all your classes and that. Literally, I feel so dumb, but that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's like orientation, basically. You go down to campus, you sign up for your classes, you register for them with your counselor, you meet with your counselor, you walk around school, you get a free lunch, like you get freebies and, you know, talks and stuff, and like you can be with your parents, and then you'll be separated from your parents and you'll see like the dorms and all that stuff. It's a fun day, it's a nice experience, but your advisor, at least from what I remember, will sign you up for classes. They'll tell you, oh, like these are the classes that we have available, and based on your, you know, whatever report, you need to take this, and this. I would recommend taking these classes right now, blah, 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 blah. And that's fine. But after that, they're not there to guide your hand. They're not there to walk you through it and be like, I'm going to sign you up for this and I'm going to sign you up for that because you need it, and but whatever. Or like tell you, out of these two, which one would you rather take? You can do this or this, whatever. They're not going to be there to do that. They're not. They do it for like the one time, and then that's it. Then you're on your own, and then you have to look up online, and you're like, how do I register? How do I add a class? How do I drop a class? What's credit, no credit? What's all this other like information? It's confusing at first, but to sum it up and make it quite simple for you guys as best as I can, usually within the first week of classes, you're going to be able to add and drop them, which means the classes you have registered for are the classes that you're attending. If you attend those classes for the first week or week and a half, it depends on the deadline that you're given at your school. If you realize this course is not for me, you know, it's too intense, like the coursework is not great. For me personally, the one way that I know that I don't want to take a class is if there's a lot of testing, or the testing is considered the biggest part of your grade as opposed to the assignments. And that was because of my experience my first semester, my freshman year, which I'll get to a little later. But it depends on you personally, what your preferences are in that, what you think you can handle, what you think you can't handle. But if you go to a class and you're like, this seems really intense, like a lot, I'm not sure if I'm cut for this, I don't know if I want to take this class, this doesn't seem interesting to me, you can drop that class. You don't have to go to that class. You do, however, have to physically go online where you registered for your classes, and then drop that class. And usually you would have to replace it with another class, especially if you have to have a specific amount of hours. The minimum credit hours a full-time student should have is 12. The max amount of credit hours a full-time student can have is 18. You can go over 18 credit hours, but at least in my school, you have to have a chat with your advisor before you do so, and they have to approve that for you, and then you can sign up for over 18 credit hours. This semester, I am signed up for 19 credit hours, and that is because I emailed my professor, I emailed my advisor, and I was like, hey, like, I know I'll be fine either way, but I am just, you know, a little stressed, and I just want to make sure that I graduate on time and everything's good to go. So I had this online class that I was registered for, and then I had to drop it because the other class that I really wanted to take for my major was a 4 credit hour class, and I was over by 1, so I would be at 19, so I wasn't allowed to. But now I kind of want to add the other class back, and I was hoping if I could just go over my credit hours by 1 hour, you know, let me know. And she was like, yeah, we can do that, like, you're a really good student, you know, everything seems fine, like, you can handle it, cool, I will let you go over the credit hours. I'll let the person that I need to let know so that they can open up the portal for you so that you can go over. And I got a notification with the person in the department opened up that limit for me, and I added my other class, so I'm at 19 now. Also, if you are a US student, if you do have, I think it's either like the MAP or the Pell Grant, something like that, you have to have 15 credit hours. So just because 12 credit hours is the minimum you can have as a full-time student, if you are relying on those grants that you're getting, you need to have 15 credit hours. You cannot be under, you cannot go into the semester under, you have to be signed up for 15. Does that mean that you have to do those 15 credit hours that whole semester? No. This is where you get around the system. You have to be signed up for 15 credit hours. If you go into the school year with 15 and then you realize you don't like this one class and you missed, you know, you missed the add deadline, because the add deadline, obviously, if you're taking a class for a semester, there's usually like a week and a half that you have available to add a class, and after that you can't add anymore unless it's like a 8-week course in the second half of the semester. Then you won't be able to add a class, but you can still drop it, I think, halfway through the semester. So you can drop that class halfway through the semester and still have your grant, because your financial aid has already come in, because you came in to the semester with 15 credit hours. That is how you know, move around the system. Would I recommend doing it? Not really. I would try to avoid it just so that you don't have any issues, because, you know, schools are different, policies are different in that, but for the most part, that's what I'm familiar with. That's what I know for sure, and I would hate to misguide you guys and give you, you know, let you know, like, yeah, you could do this, and you end up doing it, and you lose money on your financial aid because of it. Try to avoid it at all costs, but from personal experience, you can get away with going into the school year with 15 credit hours, because you have every intention of taking all those classes you signed up for, and then you know, you can't add anymore, but you need to drop this one class because you're not doing so well in it. Things happen, but yeah, drop deadlines are usually always way later than add deadlines, because, you know, usually a class is 8 weeks or 14 weeks, which is the entire semester, and in order to be in that class, you would have to be in it for the majority of the whole semester, so you can't just like add a class halfway through. It's not really how it works unless it's a second half 8-week class, which there are those classes which are half a semester long, either in the first half of the semester or the second half of the semester. I know we have those at my school. I'm not sure if they have them at your school. You can always ask your counselor or look at your own course catalog at your school's, you know, website. But yeah, I would tell you guys how to get into the portal to register for classes, how to add them and how to drop them. But I'm pretty sure it's different for every single school, so I don't really want to tell you guys how to do that if that you know, isn't the way that you can do it. But I will put a little example right here on the screen for you guys of me doing it at my school's, you know, register website and that. By the way, if you are going to U of I, the website for that would be UIUC Enterprise, and you would go into that, log in, and you go into, there's like different tabs. You would go to register, registration, and blah blah blah, and then you would go into classic registration, and then you go into add and drop classes, and then it's going to ask you which school year, and then you're going to pick whatever school year you're going into, and you're going to put submit, and then you're going to see this little box, and it's going to have all of these different majors, and then you're going to be able to click on one, and then it'll pop up all the classes they have available that semester, and you know, you can click on them, you can see how many students are in the class, you can see how many slots are taken, how many slots are available, what time the class is, when the class is, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, just Tuesday, just Wednesday. Like, you can see that, you can see who the professor is. For the most part, usually that information's on there. If it isn't, if it says TBA, that's because they don't have someone in place at the moment. But like I said, I will leave an example on the screen as I'm talking to show you guys through that. That's how you do it for UIUC, U of I. Like I said, if this isn't your school, I would recommend, you know, asking your advisor how you do it for your school, because it might be different. But that is a guide for adding, dropping, and registering for classes. We also have this thing called a DARS report, which is very important information on what classes you have taken, what your GPA is, and what classes you have left that you need to take. I will also show you a quick example of that, of my own. I'm not sure if every school does this thing called DARS audit report, but basically it tells you what classes you've taken, what grade you've gotten in them, what classes you know, need to take, or what gen eds you've taken, what gen eds you need left. Like mine says that I need 3 more hours of natural science, and I need a 3 hours of a quantitative 1 class. And so you would go on your course catalog, and you would see, you know, you would click on the tab that's like gen eds, and then you would see what classes you could take for a quantitative 1 or a quantitative 2 or in natural science. You know, they have different kinds of gen eds, and you can go in there and click on, you know, the specific type of gen ed you need, and it'll tell you like the name of the class, whether it's available in the fall or not. And that's really helpful to have an idea of what you can take when you are going in to register for your classes. I recommend being organized and looking at this a week before, or just some time before you actually have your registration. Everyone's registration slot is different. The more credit hours you have, pretty much the more upper class you are, as in, you know, if you're a senior, you go first. If you're a sophomore, you go second. Junior, you go second. Sophomores go third. Freshmen go last. And it also has to do with what your GPA is, and it also has to do if you're like an honor student. All of that goes into what slot you have for your registration. So you will always get an email letting you know what time your registration is and what day. And if not, you can always go into self-service. Like I said, it's UIUC Enterprise. If you Google it, the link will come up. You click on it, you sign in, and then if you go into like the classic registration and that, you can follow the steps that I told you. And if, you know, you can't register, it's because you don't have registration yet, but it'll pop up. It's not open for you, but your registration opens at this time on this date. And that's how you know, if you haven't met with your counselor to discuss that. But at my school, we have to meet with our counselors once a semester, and it's a mandatory advising appointment. If you don't attend it, then you can't register for your classes. So there's a hold on your account until you do so. So make sure, especially if you're at U of I, that you go to those mandatory advising meetings. If not, you're going to have a hold on your account. You can't register, which means you're going to end up registering later than you actually needed to. And for those of you already in college, know that classes fill up very quickly, especially if there's something that is open like to a very small amount and it's something really fun or a lot of people need to take, anything like that. Classes fill up super quick, especially if you're at a big school. So keep that in mind. You want to register exactly when your time and your date is. So you want to make sure that you have no holds on your account so that you can register when you're able to. So that is my tidbit on that. My camera battery is running really low. It's blinking at me. I'm not sure when it's going to die. So if it does, I'm going to switch out the battery. I also need to think of what other info to give you guys, because I want to be able to help you guys as much as possible. Like I said, I'm a senior at U of I, so I obviously have some tricks up my sleeve. I have some information that could be helpful to you if you're just an incoming freshman. Making friends. Honestly, just be yourself. I'm weird. I am really extroverted. Like, I will just make random conversations with people at any given moment. That's just how I am. So I don't really have issues meeting new people, talking to people. I just am the way that I am. And so I've met so many people on campus just by being me, doing the things that I do, and or on just social media. You know, if you have group chats for your floor, your dorm floor, or your dorm building, or you know, for your major, whatever it is, for a class, I'd recommend, you know, like asking questions or like talking to people in the classes that you have. I know your class is only a semester long and you may never see those people again, but you know, make a friend in a class or two and you might see them around campus, and you might see them in another class, especially if they have the same major as you. You never know. So, you know, obviously I'm not going to tell you my number one tip for making friends is to be extroverted, because you know, that's not true. You don't need to be extroverted to make friends. More than anything, just be yourself, and you should find people who are good for you. And if you're not, do not, I repeat, do not waste your time with toxic people, with people who offer no kind of support, offer no kind of help, offer no kind of good friendship, relationship with you, whatever relationship it is. Do not offer a good relationship with you and only take from you. That is not what you want in college. That is not the experience you want to have when you're focused on school. You want to do good. You want, like, this is for your degree. After this, you're out in the real world looking for a job. There is no more school after this, unless you're pursuing a master's or a doctorate, or you know, you need more years of school because you're in a specific major. Even then, you need to make sure this is not the time. This is not the time for bullshit. Not the time for bullshit. This is a time for you to literally grind. You're gonna be stressed a lot. It's gonna be a lot, but it's also gonna be a great, wonderful, fun experience. As I was saying, now is not the time for bullshit. You don't want to be getting into relationships, any kind of relationship, friendship, romantic, whatever. Avoid the bullshit as much as you can, okay?
Hey guys, it's editing me. I forgot to mention, or at least I wasn't clear enough, that when I said avoid friendships, romantic relationships, stuff like that, I meant with people that aren't good for you. Because obviously, who the fuck am I to tell you whether or not you should try to date in college, whether or not you should have friends? Like, obviously, everyone's experience is their own. Do what you want, but my tip is to definitely avoid being in horrible situations, whether it be friendships, relationships, like romantic relationships, with toxic ass people. That is the gist of what I was trying to say here. Sorry I wasn't clear about that, but I promise you do not want to deal with anything that is not good for you, so avoid.
If you're having issues with someone, I know it's stressful. Try to get out of it as quickly as you can so that it doesn't affect you or impact you as much. Because let me tell you, the last thing you want to be doing is focusing on bullshit when you have assignments, when you have exams, when you have other stuff going on That's way more important. Personally, school is a priority, and I know that in order to get to where I want to be in life, I need to do well now and continue to do well. So I will not be wasting my own time by letting people stick around who are toxic, who cause issues, who lie, who are manipulative. Does not matter. I will not be wasting my time like that, and neither should you. Avoid it, avoid it, avoid it, avoid it. You get red flags, bye, cut them off. You're an adult now. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. You don't need anybody to hold your hand and guide you to do what to do. You're on this journey on your own. You can have help, you can have support. They're great resources to utilize, but you do not need anybody who's gonna hinder that, okay? Biggest thing. I see so many people who go into college and just like meet people and they fuck up so bad. Or they're just in it for the college experience and partying and all this stuff, and they get kicked out of school because they never attended class, they didn't take their exams, they flunked. Like, if you get under a specific GPA, again, depending on the school, I think my school is if you get under a 2.0, you're on academic probation, which means that next semester, the following semester, you need to do well. You need to have over a 2.0 GPA for that semester in order for you not to be on academic probation. If you do not do well and you get under again, you get dropped. You get cut. Bye. Your acceptance ripped up. Bye. Go to another school. That happens in college. People don't talk about it, but that happens all the time. All the time. And the people who I see it happening to most of the time, personally, at my school, is men, not women. And I genuinely think it's because we tend to be more organized and stress ourselves out to the max. But again, this is like based off my personal experience and what I've witnessed, what I've seen, what I've gone through. So it could be different at your school, but it happens. You can get dropped by your university. They can tell you they no longer want you as a student, and then you have to go somewhere else. So even if school is not a priority to you, either make it one or try your best. Try your best. If you don't want to get dropped from your school, try your best. And another thing is, you don't need to decide your major. You don't need to go undecided. You can go in undecided if that's, how you got into the school. Or you can take some time to weigh your options and see what your interests are before you pick a major. I feel like there's so much pressure on people who, haven't picked a major. Don't worry about it. Literally, don't worry about it. Especially your freshman year, like your first semester. Do not worry about it. You're already going to be stressed. You're already going to be adapting to a new environment, a new place, like a new area, all this other stuff. The last thing you want to be doing is adding more stress by thinking, oh my god, what am I going to do for the rest of life? What do I want to do for the rest of life? Like, take a deep breath, relax. You have some time to figure it out. They usually tell you that by junior year you have to pick. So take a deep breath, relax. You do not have to decide right away. Take some time to focus on you. Figure out what your interests are, make pros and cons lists, whatever you need to do, whatever is helpful for you to make that decision, because again, it is a big decision. But don't forget that you can also switch your major. But with that, don't forget that if you do that, especially later on, it might take you longer before you get to graduate. So you won't be graduating on time. There's that. There's always that. There's always something. I'm trying to think what else that would be super helpful for you guys. When it comes to romantic relationships, honestly, college boys aren't any better than high school boys. Personally, my freshman year, I just had fun, if you know what that means. I just did me, focused on me. I went to parties. I did good in school. Besides my first semester was a little bit of a mess. I had one class that I didn't do so well in because the class was literally 30% of our grade was exams and then 10% assignments.
Hi, it's editing me again. So, I said right here that it was 30% exams and 10% assignments. That was a lie. It was like 50% exams and 30% assignments, and I genuinely don't know what the other percentage was, probably attendance. But I did not have fun in that class. One, I genuinely didn't care about what we were learning. Two, like, why were the exams that much? And also, I suck at testing. So when I told you guys earlier in the video that I know and I learned my lesson and I know how to pick my classes now and I know when I should drop them, that is the reason why, because that class was wretched.
So I did well on the assignments but not well on the exams because of my anxiety disorder. I don't test well. So instead of giving up and dropping the class like I should have, you know, my personality, I was like, I can do it, you know, I'm strong, I can handle it, I can manage it, like I don't quit, I don't give up, whatever. I stayed, and my GPA suffered because of it. Honestly, when it comes down to that, your pride, it's not worth it. If you want a good GPA, it's not worth it. I mean, obviously since then I've managed to get A's and B's, nothing lower, and my GPA is way better than what it was. Not that it was ever horrible, but like it's just better now. It's in 3.0 area. It's a 3.1 or a 3.2, I can't remember. But after first semester, my GPA was a 2.3. So yeah, I got it up. Took a lot of work, but I got it up. And just remember also that it takes a lot to raise your GPA, but it takes only the slightest mistake to drop your GPA. People don't think about it, but a C literally could just like, your GPA goes, ooh. You get an A, like straight A's, your GPA could go like point whatever, you know, percentage up. But literally, like the difference is just, it's crazy. You could literally get, oh my god, it's just so crazy because I know if I messed up in any way, my GPA would have been nope. But me busting my ass, trying, doing the best I can, I like raised it up little by little. It's just, I don't know, man, that's just school. But don't stress. Again, don't be afraid to cut people off if you need to. It's your life, it's your journey. You get to decide what you want to do. You get to decide who you want to be with, who you want to be around. You decide basically everything from now on. So make wise decisions. Remember that your school can kick you out. You don't want that. And more than anything, just remember to have fun. Remember to enjoy your college experience because it is going to be one of the fun times you have in your life. I know so many people have been like, oh my god, I went to U of I and I had so much fun, or like college was the best time of my life. And genuinely, my 21 years of living, this is like the most fun I've ever had, which is also saying a lot because I'm getting older and I have more responsibilities, but this is genuinely like the most fun I've ever had in college. So enjoy it, make the most out of it. Remember, life is what you make it, so college is also what you make it. And I hope you guys found this helpful. If you want a part 2, let me know and I'll think of more things to, you know, help inform you guys, especially if you're a freshman and you're coming into this like, what do I do? Just don't worry, don't stress, take it easy, you know, breathe. And this information is here for you if you need it. I hope it was helpful. And if it is, give this video a thumbs up so that I know that it helped you out or you like this video in general. Comment down below what you thought was the most helpful, or if I didn't answer something that you have been, you know, questioning or you're wondering about, leave that down below. And if I make a part 2, then I have some, you know, questions to go off of. And subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, I'm a senior. I'm going to be making a lot of college content, even if we aren't necessarily in class. I still I'm going to be on campus and, you know, doing my thing, and I really want to take you guys along the journey with me. So subscribe if you want to see that kind of content, vlogs, lifestyle. I just kind of move in whatever way I want. My videos are, I think, entertaining, but if this is what you like to watch, definitely subscribe. And other than that, just have a great day, night, whatever you're doing right now. And like I said, hope this video was helpful, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye!